city as we did Tokyo, as you guys did Dresden, and a lot of other cities, by the way, in both of those countries, if you're dropping atomic weapons in the middle of town on a Catholic church, I don't know why you have to look back 80 years later and be like, that was a great thing. It wasn't a great thing. It was a shameful thing. And we should be better than that because we're not savages. Because we're Christians.
But I don't agree with you. I don't agree with it.
Okay, apparently you don't.
I don't.
You said right on the camera it's okay to kill 8-year-olds because it's war.
No,
it's not okay to kill 8-year-olds.
I didn't say anything is okay. What I said is morally justified. Because when you have an enemy that is prepared to put 6 million Jews into gas chambers and murder 6 million more people, they are prepared to do anything. And you have to stop them. And then any response you give to me is morally justified.
Any response?
Well, pretty much. If you're taking the war to them to try and end the war and trying to defeat a nihilistic group like the Nazis, yes, it's morally
nihilistic. Says the guy who's defending the murder of 8-year-olds. They're nihilistic.
I'm not defending the murder of any 8-year-olds.
What you're doing is expressing a species of nihilism. The whole point is we are better than you because we have limits. There's some things I'm not going to rape your wife. I'm just not.
How do you stop?
Well, hold on, let me finish.
Okay.
I am not going to behave like an animal. You are. That's why we're at war. You bombed preemptively my Pacific Fleet in Pearl Harbor. We weren't even at war. Why'd you do that? That's outrageous. We're going to punish you for doing it. I get it. But we're not like
Not
you.
punish, defend.
Of course, not defending. There was no threat of invasion. If you're the United States, I mean, you live in a tiny island nation. I think there was a real
Japanese
threat.
attacked Pearl Harbor. That is a form of invasion, isn't it?
It was not an invasion. No. It was an attack.
It's a mass attack on
I'm not defending
America.
Pearl Harbor. I don't think Roosevelt should have let it happen, which he did.
But once it happened, what do?
You attack them back. I get it.
You agree?
Okay, but hold on. There are finer distinctions here.
Well, not really. You'd attack them back.
Let me finish my fucking sentence.
Was it morally defensible to attack them back?
Stop. Okay. Yes, it was morally defensible to attack them back.
Thank you. You agree with me.
But it depends what attack
You agree
means.
with me. You didn't qualify it.
Like this,
you didn't qualify it.
You did like crazy. You're like,
you didn't qualify it.
You say it's okay to molest children. Why do you say that? You're like, I didn't say that. No, you just said it's okay to molest children. Now, why would you be in favor of child molestation?
Nobody's talked about molesting children.
That's what you did.
You just said it was morally justified for America
to... It's like hilarious.
America, you said America attacking after Pearl Harbor.
They end the interview and they're like, what just happened?
Actually, you'll be saying that.
He just told me what I believe, and then he attacked me for believing it. It's so hilarious. I love that. It's like a species of masturbation. Like, you don't need another person present.
Listen, not masturbation. It's making love to someone. It's making love to someone you love.
Okay, but let me just say, you don't ever want to wind up in a place where you're defending the killing of children. You just don't. Now, you go into any kind of...
That wasn't what I was doing. I was saying there's moral justice.
It's very much what you were doing.
No.
You said it was morally justified to kill children.
I said morally justified. No. Morally justified to drop bombs which end a war. Yes, I do believe.
Can I ask you just, since we're still on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, hard to say you make the case for Nagasaki, but whatever. Why not, if you have this fantastic new weapon and you want to prevent, somehow you're required to invade Japan? Like, I don't know why we'd be required to invade Japan, by the way. Like, no one ever answers that question.
They just attacked you?
No, they attacked us 4 years earlier, and we've now beaten them and driven them out of the Philippines and Malaysia and all this stuff. We've won. Why do we have to invade mainland Japan? No one ever answers that question. We just kind of have to because we have to. Okay, I'm not second-guessing the military leadership of the Second World War, but I am second-guessing this. Why wouldn't you bomb just military installations? Why drop these bombs in the middle of a city when you know that overwhelmingly the incinerated people will be civilians? Like, why would you do that? I would not do that. I would say, I have the bomb, okay, we're going to drop it on, critical military infrastructure, arms manufacturing plants, on, a fleet. Why would you drop it on...
Because when the enemy is not making that calculation, you have to stop them.
Stop them from what? Not being invaded?
Stop them from killing your civilians, killing your people.
Japan, in the summer of 1945, was in no position to kill any American civilians, period. So I think they floated a couple firebombs over Oregon 3 years before. But the point is, look, I understand, people do their best under pressure. They make mistakes. I've made a million of them. I'm not judging even Harry Truman, who I do think was kind of a pig, but whatever. I'm not even judging. I maybe would have done the same thing. I'm just saying 80 years later, why defend that? Like, what's the point?
I think it was morally justified.
To kill 200,000 civilians?
Yeah.
So then we wouldn't have to invade, which we didn't have to anyway?
To save potentially millions of lives being killed, yes.
Of our invaders, of their country?
Of both sides, to bring an end to the war.
How about just not invade them?
They wouldn't surrender. You've got to bring the war to an end.
But they had lost. Why do you have to invade them?
They refused to surrender.
Okay, but we'd kicked them out of all of their colonies. We'd driven them back to their
You
island.
don't dispute dropping those bombs ended the war, do you?
Well, I am disputing it. That's what I'm doing right now.
It did end the war.
Oh, disputing that it ended the war. Sure, of course.
So the means and effect were correct.
I'm also not disputing that bringing down the Twin Towers changed the United States. Like, if you commit enough killing, you will change people's behavior, including getting them to surrender. My only question is it worth it? And what are you becoming when you participate in it?
Yeah, but I think
that's a meaningful question that nobody addresses.
Yes,
like,
but
who am I?
But
I'm a decent person. I'm an imperfect person. This is how Americans, I think, should think of themselves, and mostly do. But I'm also a representative of an enlightened country, product of an enlightened civilization called Western civilization. And there are certain things I will not do, even if they benefit me. I'm not doing that because I'm not that guy. I don't kill children. I don't rape women. I don't send women into battle to defend me, which I guess we now do. That's wrong.
So you would condemn what Israel's done in Gaza, for example?
I don't want to be involved in it.
I mean, nearly 20,000 children are said to have died.
I don't
You condemn it?
think that is a...
By your criteria, you condemn it? Is it morally justified?
That is a calculation that Israel has to make. I don't want to have anything to do with that.
You have no view? No view?
It's hard to take a lecture from someone who just admitted that he hates Israel in every fiber of his body.
I never said
You said that. You said that
Now
on
you're
camera.
distracting.
No, I'm not
Oh,
distracting.
yes, you are.
You're the one who said that.
You're now
man.
distracting.
You said, I hate Benjamin Netanyahu.
No, I didn't. I said I don't think he should be leader anymore.
You hate him. With
Shouldn't
an
be leader.
irrational hatred that, I don't know where it comes from. I can't account for what's in your soul. I don't have an X-ray into what's deep inside you. But all you said was, I hate
I have no problem saying that I think Israel's response has gone way too far. Way too many civilians have been killed. What I'm surprised about is that you, having lectured me about the deaths of 8-year-olds, you don't want to morally condemn what Israel's done in Gaza. I'm curious as to why. By your criteria.
Yeah. My criteria apply solely, and this is a thread of consistency throughout my arguments here and everywhere for the last 20 years. They have to do with the behavior of the United States, which is my country. And it's been my family's country for hundreds of years. I pay my full taxes. I feel very vested. I'm a shareholder in my country. So its behavior matters greatly to me. I'm implicated in its behavior. And I don't want the United States to participate in things that are counter to its interests or counter to the values of Western civilization. That's really simple. So other countries do all kinds of abominable things, including cannibalism, a lot, actually, and human sacrifice, a lot, actually. And, okay, they're not my country. So I don't want the United States involved in anything that's morally indefensible or counter to its own interests. Period.
So Israel's dropping American bombs on Gaza, killing lots of children.
Do you think the
deaths of...
I'll tell you what I think.
Hang on.
Don't tell me what I think.
You think the killing of you think the killing of civilians is morally indefensible?
Let me tell you what I think.
So American bombs are being used to kill a lot of children and women in Gaza.
I hate that.
Is it morally?
Let me tell you.
Is it morally indefensible? Now you don't want to say?
I'm in the process of telling you.
Go on then.
Stand back, let the flower bloom. Okay? Stop tending the garden, Piers. I hate the fact that civilians are killed with American weapons. I hate it. I hate it in Ukraine. I hate it in Gaza. I hate it in the occupied territories,
As do I.
wherever we're calling them these days. I think in the specific case of Israel, we have been closely allied with the Israeli government since the 1950s. We're actually instrumental in the creation of Israel, so since the late 40s. And I think that there are times when our interests have aligned, and there are times, the transfer of military technology to China being one of them, where those interests diverge. I would very much appreciate an environment in the United States where Americans could speak openly about what their money is doing in a bunch of different foreign countries, including that one. And I think that we should reassess all our relationships, all our alliances with our allies on the basis of whether or not it's good for the United States on a bunch of different